You have the Procaster, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't even know, like, because my friend, he's the one that had a podcast. So when I started this, I had asked him, I was like, dude, what do you need? And he was like, you need this and that. And I just bought it. I was like, all right, it may be this much, but I'm gonna just buy it.
Bro, this same thing when I started with this, I had like none of it. So when I say from scratch, I meant from zero background, zero. I didn't come from editing. I didn't come from like technology like that. I didn't know what to get. So I funded everything myself. And that's why sometimes I might not got like the best equipment up top because I didn't have like a fucking $5,000 budget.
Right.
Even though in total it ended up coming damn near, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if not more.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a thing, man. But I'm glad you're here. And
Appreciate
I already
you.
started rolling, but I definitely want to give you the the proper intro, man.
Yeah, no, honestly, when I started my podcast too, at one point I was like, you know what, it's better just keep it rolling. Just keep it rolling. Just keep it rolling. Because that way, I feel like it gets a little awkward with introductions. But no, I appreciate you for having me.
Man, let's get it going then. Yeah, okay? All right.
Let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF Podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and in this week's special episode, we got the honor and the privilege to be joined by fellow podcaster Samuel Cervantes Jr.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All
Thank
the
you
way
for
from
saying
the
that.
Bay, from Richmond, right?
Yeah.
Richmond.
It's funny because whenever I try to explain myself, where I'm from, I always resonate to Richmond because that's where I was until I was like 12. But after that, I was moving around. But,
you moved around.
But no, man, the pleasure's mine, bro. Honestly, like, we were talking and I asked you how long you were doing this. And you said, over a year. And you've been growing a lot, man. And you got to respect that because that stuff doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen just because, you know what I'm saying? I know you're putting in work. So that's why, I when you asked me, I was like, bro, hell yeah, like whatever I can to help somebody like that, bro, I'm gonna definitely do it. And this is gonna help me out just being around that energy.
For sure.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. Well, I've reached out a few times and it's good. Like it's weird. It's a weird thing. Like when it comes to timing.
Yeah.
You feel me? Cause like
no, for sure.
Like even when we first were supposed to do it and you weren't able to make it. In the back of my mind, I was like, oh, okay, it actually works kind of good because at the time it was hot as shit. And I was hot as shit, right?
Yeah.
And then also I was able to catch up on some stuff I had to do with my son because I'm busy a lot.
No, yeah.
So although it did suck, I wasn't too worried about it because I was like, we always, we could reschedule it because I do this every week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I have you on anytime. And I was able to catch up on some time with my son. So I wasn't tripping out too much. And it works out better right now too because I got the, it's a day off, chilling. It's Memorial Day for y'all that don't know. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you enjoyed it. So it's good like this, man. So I'm glad we're able to, like I said, timing works everything out.
No, yeah, for sure. and really, if you think about it, it's like, let's say you reached out to me a month ago. The way I see it when I reach out to people and it doesn't go through is, man, I can't wait for when they do say yes because everything that's going to happen between now and that time, like that's going to be the bread and butter that I really, want to learn about. And that's what I'm going to be able to take. So
for sure.
Yeah, that's how I really get it.
I definitely get that, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, so one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on and I wanted to chop it up with you and everything is because I saw. So as a podcaster myself, you know what I'm saying? We're always like looking at other podcasts and kind of like gauging them, not as so much like as a competition type of thing, but I'm looking at them like, yo, what they got going on or what are they talking about? But also it's like, I'm a fan of podcasting in general. So I listen to a shit ton. Like I'm talking about like daily listen to podcasting, you feel me? I'm always intrigued with conversations and everything. And when I first stumbled upon yours, I found it because you had did an episode with Eddie, DJ Eddie, from here in Sacramento.
DJ Eddie, yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, I know who she is. I fuck with her, And I saw that, and so when I looked in and I started seeing everything else you got going on, I was like, okay, so he's like, we're not too far, like as far as deep into it. I was like, bro, we're kind of like in the same time frame, you know what I'm saying? And it works out good. And I saw how you could see the elevation and the growth from it too. Just like with this, like episode 1, I had like I didn't really know much about like not props, but like background shit. You know what I mean? And then I slowly built it up to kind of build somewhat of a set because I wanted to have that set feeling. Right. And I saw that with yours too. It was slowly like changing and evolving and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I was like, I just naturally like gravitated towards you. You feel me? And then also I like the idea and the premise of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were talking about, it was like episode 1, kind of like what you use as the intro. Right. It was like 12 minutes, you know what I mean? Which you use as an intro. Which I actually, side story on that. I shot a little intro thing. I put it up and it was up there for like, I don't know, like a week. And then I was like, no, I don't like that shit. I took it down. I took it down because I was looking back and I was like, bro, I look so boring.
No, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
I was like hella monotone.
Especially when you're like looking at yourself, how you're doing it now. You're like, oh my God, that was really me. Like,
right. I was just like this. I was like, hey guys, so you know what I mean? Like I look hella monotone. I was like, man, I'm gonna take this shit off. I even had an audio version and it was an intro. So I was like, nah, let me take this shit off, man. So I took it off and yeah, so listening to that one and talking about, you know, when you're talking about like the vision of it and how you wanted, you felt like there was a space that was lacking. You know what I'm saying? With neighborhood TV. So neighborhood hero, sorry. So let's start off with you, because that was like what, a year and some change ago.
Yeah.
Some time has passed since then.
Right.
What is it? How do you feel like has it been true to that? Like you said on episode 1?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It hasn't.
Really?
Seriously. And I had to look at myself and really like acknowledge exactly what you just said from the beginning to the top. And I'm not saying I'm at the very top, but I'm saying like top of my career within the industry. Right. You know, this is like my peak right now as far as everything I've done. Yeah. I really started because I got just introduced to Joe Rogan like maybe like a month before that, and I realized, yeah.
Wait, podcaster Joe Rogan or like
podcasting Joe Rogan? Oh, I knew him from Fear and Factor, but I was pretty young. Right. But then I'm into the UFC, but not. I'm more of a boxing guy. Right.
so you saw Tank on the 6th round.
I'm a big Gervonta Davis fan. Yeah. He's a tank for sure. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, I found. And the funny thing is, I found about Joe Rogan when I wasn't trying to find out about him. That's what really got to me. Was I'd seen a clip on Instagram of him with Kevin Hart, and I was a huge Kevin Hart fan just because I could relate to his story. Right. Because you go. I don't know if you've seen his Netflix documentary special, but it was like he's one of the main pillars. Guys and pillars in comedy, but he's also a really good person. Genuinely. That's what I'm saying. And that's really what I like gravitated to. So then I realized, wait, hold on. Joe Rogan started making some good points, and he just started asking some great questions. And I was like, you know what? I realized that because before that I was in sales. So once you do sales, you kind of realize it's mainly just about the questions that you ask. Right. So then I realized it kind of clicked, and I was like, you know what? He's doing it with Kevin Hart, all these big guys, which I understand why. But I can also do this with people within the community who have super or really knowledgeable, but don't have the light and don't have someone actually coming to them and be like, yo, come on here and just show me everything you got. Right. And really, the reason why I'm saying that is because if you're really knowledgeable in something, you're not going to sit here and tell me you don't want to talk about it. True. Right? Because you're putting all this work. You're like, damn, I read all these books. Like, I'm ready to go. Right. So my intention was like, man, let me bring like 100 years of experience, metaphorically, and then you could just say it in one podcast, and then forever some kid, 2-3 years down the line who wants to become the next Kevin Hart can go watch that and then be like, yo, this is how he did it. So that was really what it is.
And then you can actually be, that clip can actually be the other person's clip that they look at and reference, So that's hindsight too. But I'm curious for this. What clip was it? Do you remember?
Because that's a great question. I know what podcast it was.
Okay, so I'm wondering, the reason why I asked that is because there's a clip that I always talk about and I reference that from that Kevin Hart, because he's been on like 2 times, I think.
Right.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
There's one clip that always sticks with me, and I remember one of my homies. He was like, because he's a barber. Hopefully I'm okay to say this. Shout out Jeffrey. But he's a barber, but he does videography. He's an entrepreneur. He has a clothing brand and everything, right? So he was saying he was posting about man, I'm kind of losing motivation to continue to cut because he's doing so much other things.
That makes sense.
A barber's his bread and butter. That's how he makes his bread. But he also he does on the entrepreneur side. He got shit going on. Business side, he has his own clothing business and he's opening up a shop and everything. So he's I'm kind of losing motivation. What do y'all use? And I remember I had texted him the clip that I'm talking about. I had messaged him, and it was late at night, and it was a clip where Kevin Hart was saying essentially, and I a summarized version, not word for word, but the clip was saying he's the hardest thing to do is to get up every day and continue to do something that you see no progress in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's the hardest thing is I'm waking up and give it all my gall and seeing nothing for it. Yeah. That's the hardest thing you can do. So I don't know if it was that clip necessarily, but that clip always, and I don't want to fucking mess it up. You know what I mean? 'Cause it sounds a lot better when he says it. And I sent that to Jeffrey, and it was basically me just being like, yo, bro, we all get through same thing. We all go through some slumps. You know what I mean? We all get stagnant on shit. But hopefully this can be used as some motivation. Right. So I'm hoping it did. You know what I mean? So that's what I messaged him. But that clip that's like one thing that I'll send to people because that shit's motivating.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And the fact that you're able to salute to you, bro, for real, because I think, you know, just in general, this guy was able to, you know, come to you and tell you that. And a lot of people would just listen, which is cool.
Yeah.
But you took the extra step and say, you know what? Nah, I'm going to actually help you.
Yeah.
Whether that's actually doing something or just giving him like a clip so that the mindset can switch.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, bro. So shout out to you, a real one for that.
Thank you.
No, seriously. But yeah, no, and that's the funny part is I started a podcast because I literally remember telling people who asked me, I was like, I feel like I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But one thing that I learned is the more that you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Facts. Yo.
So what happened was I went from, man, let me go tell you everything that I know to now, I swear to you, bro, like the past couple of weeks, my mindset has been, man, let me go find people who are all around better than me so I could just sit there. And as long as I ask the right questions, this will get me to the top.
Right, because you're picking every person's brain, and you're having diversity and range.
Right,
I can relate. You know, doing this shit too is like I don't just seclude it to just one genre, I guess you would say, or one type. Because one thing, and maybe as a podcast, you know, people always ask, and you're like, oh, you got a podcast? What is it about?
Right,
and bro, it's exactly. Like, so I can't be like comedy. I can't be true crime. You feel me? I can't say all these other things because it's like I have all of it intentionally. I want to have range. I want to have a bunch of people on, man. I could have an up-and-coming artist out of Sacramento. Like next week I could have a freaking trauma survivor accident. Survivor. Yeah. Next week I have one of my fucking homies that we just kick it with and bullshit with. You know what I mean? So it's like it ranges from all over the place, and that's why I feel like the picking part of the brain and everything is a solid one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But also too, it's rare. So I like it when I get to have other podcasters on because it's like y'all already know. But you know what I'm saying? You know how to talk and everything.
Yeah.
Because other people,
I hope so.
Because other people, like when they've been on, they get like I've had people on that like they get nervous. You feel me? And I'm like, bro, we're just talking. Like eliminate the microphone, eliminate the camera. At the end of the day, we're just chopping it up like how we would. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So do you have going like with your podcast that you've been doing? You don't like. Do you have that issue at all?
You know, it's funny. Once my mindset switched to that, it went away. Because at first I was nervous of saying the wrong thing, but now that my focus isn't about me saying anything, that's when I realized, like, yo, you know, I still feel that pressure, especially like you said, man. You look to the left, you see the camera, and the lights are like, oh shit, hold on, bro. You know, it's like a damn.
It's in your face, literally.
Right.
You know the bright
but
lights.
I think, but then I think because my mindset shifted, and I think it's all about like. Just in general, it's funny because, like you said, you caught me right now in my life. And when I was driving over here, it's like, man, you never know what you're going to talk about during these podcasts. Yeah. But I think the best thing is always try to be authentic, right?
Right.
That's the only thing you can do.
Right.
So right now, like I'm dealing with certain things in my life. And then it's funny because, you know, how you asked me, is this person coming with you? Yeah. And then it's like, 3 weeks ago, that question would have been okay, and now it wouldn't be. Oh wow! You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say.
It
it's
works
like
out better too, like as far as timing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bringing it back to the timing. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool full circle moment right there, actually. Too. But it is true. Like I said, we're talking about like the intimidation factor with the lights and everything too. But bro, it's like you're getting like big time guests on too. You feel me? Like, do you get as a host yourself? You don't get like a little?
That's a good question.
Like intimidated?
No. I see what you're saying. No, and that's a great question. But I think I saw something. Do you know who Sadhguru is? I'm sure you've seen him on Instagram. He has a big beard.
Right. I was about to say I'm a visual person.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure because he's been coming up a little bit more. He has this Save the Soil campaign. Okay. Maybe I'll send it to you after. Okay. But one thing that he said was it literally changed my perspective exactly on that. He said, as soon as you idolize someone, you take their truest value of what they're able to offer. Okay. So like and he literally gave the example of like, yo, if I see him, I'm like, yo, nice to meet you, bro. You know, and you really be like, damn, this is this person. You know, this is Kobe. You know, rest in peace, Kobe. I love that poster, bro. By the way, man.
Yeah, I got him tatted on my back.
Really?
I'm a big Kobe fan.
I gotta see that after.
I gotta show you. Yeah, because you're playing them. Like you put a lot of Kobe quotes.
Bro, I love Kobe, man. Yeah, his mama mentality is different. But yeah. So Sadhguru, you know, he was saying when you meet somebody, like don't take that. Don't put that image on them because, like I said, you won't be able to get what they're really offering you. You know, it's kind of like if I were to meet anyone like Barack Obama, you know, I could be like, yo, this is Mr. President. I just met Mr. Or I could be like, yo, Mr. President, like, you realize who they are. Be like, this is a president. They work for that. Everyone's a human being. Right. Everyone's a human being. It's the difference is people are born to different situations. People, you know, their mind opens up different than others. You know, people are exposed to different things. So we're all just shaped of what our experiences are. So that's really what the way I look at it is like, yo, this guy, he's a living legend. Literally, like for example, our boy LaRussell, man, like shout out to him. I literally texted him. I'm like, yo, bro, it's amazing that I'm able to see you in this phase right now because we all know you're gonna blow up, but there's something special about seeing somebody in the grind. I don't know if you ever seen like the old documentaries with Tupac, Kanye. Yes. Like there's people that were able to witness that, and then you're like, damn, imagine what it was like, you know, to live, you know, be around those people. The come up, exactly.
It's very interesting that you say that because to trying to translate it towards MMA, right? So there's one podcast I listen to. The dude always says how he misses the rise. Where he talks about, I'm sure you know who Conor McGregor is, right? Right. Fucking Irish guy, you know? You know, kind of is on some, you know, what do we call it? He's on like on a losing streak, you know what I mean? But they were saying like, man, that rise when he was coming up, he's like, there's nothing like that rise when there's or even boxing when there's a prospect, there's nothing like the fucking rise because you get to witness it, and eventually they're gonna get to the levels that they're gonna get to because you know if they're destined to be that, they definitely are gonna get there. But that rise, that area, you know, and same thing with LaRussell too, like. When I was able to, even like when I was able, you know, thankfully I was able to go to his house before too. And I was able to pick up merch there and everything. But just to see him and just to be able to like to dap him up, hug him up, and give him his flowers while he's here and everything. And you know, I mean, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, he might not ever remember me going forward, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to share those interactions in that moment with him and to see the things that he's doing right now. Like, bro, like he's getting mentioned on fucking everything.
For sure.
Like I was listening to one of the podcasts that I like too is Cause All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Stax or Steven Jackson. They just recently had the game's most recent episode. Yeah, and they talked about LaRussell on there too. Jeez. So they were talking about like some of the best upcoming West Coast rappers, and they brought up LaRussell.
No, you have to, man. And it's really and the cool thing about him is that. It's obviously it's different, right? That's a slogan, but I think that the cool thing, and it's funny, it almost seems like I talk about him in every one of my podcasts, and it's cool. It's cool though. I'm glad, I'm glad because you know he's from the Bay Area, so it's cool to have like that, you know, that I want to say poster child of the Bay Area of like, yo, you know, I could do it too, and that's what I'm trying to say. Where it's like he's so, you know, vulnerable with everything that he does. Right. You get what I'm saying? Which makes you feel him as a person. So now it gives you the belief of like, yo, I can do it too. Gotcha. You know? Because I've definitely came across people who are at the top, and I'm not saying you got to share it, but at least like, you know, give the info down. Like me, for example, I may not know much at all, you know, like at all, but I know that when this is all said and done, because I definitely want to keep doing this when it's all said and done, it's like I maybe want to write a book just off what I learned. You know, like imagine, bro. You know who Tony Robbins is? Yeah, like him. Course. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the way he got big was he went to go talk to these, you know, people, and then you kind of start getting information. It's like, how is that not gonna stick in your head? Especially, bro, you edit the stuff. Like I'm sure you listen to one like line like 3 times a day, you know. Yeah, type shit.
I'll be doing even in the edits. I'll be like, it takes a lot for me not to post too much, you know what I mean, of it. Right. But then I'm also being told like post it more.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Which I get. But there's so much going on. Like I'll grab a snippet and then I'll forget about it. There's so much other snippets and I'll be like, fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or I'll go back and I'll catch it. But speaking about Tony Robbins too, I feel you on that because I'm on the same thing too. Where I'm like, dude, when I get old, because I'm 30, bro, I'm up there. You know what I mean? Not too. Bro, up there.
30 is the new 25.
For real. You feel me? No, but I do want to get into eventually. One goal of mine, a bucket list, is writing a book also. Yeah. Just off of experience and stuff like that, sure. You know? And this is actually going into a 2-part question that I have for you too. So, and it'll be a good segue for it too. But for starters, bro, so like I said, coming from the Bay Area, you're back. Well, I'm not gonna say background, but you're playing soccer for a minute, right?
Yeah, I play soccer, football, baseball. I always try to like karate. Like I always try to just stay like really busy. Busy, exactly. Yeah.
And it's a good thing to stay busy. I always say it too. But where did you? I can't remember because I'm not from the Bay. So what was the high school you went to?
I went to De Anza.
De Anza, okay.
Yeah, that's in like the address in Richmond, but the city it's like in Cervantes. It's so weird.
I know exactly. I know. Okay. So I know where. Do you know where Appian?
Yes.
Appian Way?
So I used to live right there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll be going out there sometimes too. So coming from the Bay Area, bro, is there I've had a few people on who from the Bay, and everybody has different perspectives. Just like in SAC, I talk to people who are born in, like, I'm not born and raised. I mean, I'm like damn near, I'm like 10 years now living in SAC, or just about to hit 10 years. I'm not born and raised here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I talk to people who are born and raised here, everybody has different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Right. So for you, real quick, talk about like your background coming up in the Bay, and I'll get into my second part.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because when I was growing up, you don't really realize how special the Bay Area is, honestly, until you go out of the Bay Area.
Yeah, until you spread.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everyone in the Bay Area to me is like super cultured. Like, because I'm thinking major cities like Oakland, SF, Richmond. Man, these people will claim their city so hard. Yeah. And that's something that I appreciate. So like growing up and seeing that, you know, I definitely realized that the culture was a big aspect to it. But me, for example, in the Bay Area, I can honestly say I have a different perspective, like you just said, in the way that I grew up, because I was like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So I really got to experience different cities in the Bay Area, and it's insane because, like, for example, you think the East Bay, you can drive 10 minutes from Richmond to like Hercules, and it's a whole nother vibe.
Oh yeah. And
then you translate that into life, and then now you're like, man, what type of lifestyle do I want? You get what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you've been to those different cities, but you can definitely tell like the different lifestyle.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because I drive a lot. I'm in the Bay like every single week.
Yeah,
driving and everything.
Yeah.
So I be going to, So if I'm in Richmond, if I'm in Hercules, if I'm in Pinot, if I'm in San Lorenzo. And like off of Hesperian Boulevard in that area, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like
no,
you
definitely.
could definitely see, you know, the nice areas, and then the next day I might be in Corte Madera, and it's like, wow,
super
you know
nice,
nice out here. You feel me?
Right.
So it's easy to, I can definitely see how you can get swayed, you know, in different things,
exactly.
and everything, and that's why I was asking about that too, which was interesting as far as your background and everything, because it's not like you're coming up that I know of. I don't know you like on a personal level like that, but I don't see you coming up being straight up like sets. You feel me?
No, yeah.
Because that's like, it's easy to do that out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody has a path. Like my high school days, I might have like messed around a few things too. You know what I mean? But how were you able to?
That's a great question. Honestly, I think my mom, man. I think my mom definitely, as much as she physically wasn't there, I think, you know, I was able to see those kind of things, but then I knew like my mom wasn't there because she's at work. So how am I gonna go fuck off with the wrong people? Because I think I was able to, early on in life, I was able to see what choices do, and that's whether good or bad.
Yeah.
You know, so then I was able to like really resonate, like, you know what, there's certain people, and it's funny because I was just talking to my boy about this. Freshman year, for example, Samuel, who he was, I was just trying to get cool with everybody, like literally. So I would do anything to do that. I was that type of kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Too, yeah.
And I feel like a lot, you're almost kind of have to be put in that position, you know, especially when you're in an environment that it's not okay for you to step out your comfort zone, or, you know, step out that box, or, you know, or growth or whatever. But yeah, no, to answer your question, I think it was just that, man. I think I was able to, you know, recognize that early on. And it's funny because I was talking to my boy Jordan, and he was like, man, he's really from Richmond, you know, grew up there his whole life. And for example, him, you know, I hate to say it because it's something that's wrong, but he has this whole sleeve of just people that he was cool with that passed away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like when you're able to see that stuff, you're like, you know that, you know, respectfully, I'm sure he didn't want life to be like that.
Right.
So that you kind of look at that and be like, yo, you know what? I don't want to be in that position either.
Yeah.
So then let me kind of just gravitate to people who I feel like, you know, are going to help me, you know, 10, 20 years down the line. Because I've always hung around with people older than me. That's the thing. Even when I was in high school, because I had an older aunt that was 24, I would hang around her, and her, obviously she wasn't at that age at that time. Yeah. She's that age now. But she was always like 4 years older than me. So like I hang around with those people. So then
pass down game to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I think that was one of the biggest things too.
No, I feel you on that too, because I'm, you know, being, you know, Hispanic, Latino, being Mexican and everything, we have our friends who, you know, involved in everything too. And same thing, when you said that too, it made me think, because I got one of my homies who passed away that's on me too. Like I got him tatted on me too. And I remember thinking, when I was getting it, I remember thinking, oh, I don't want to be this for one of my other homies. I don't want to be the next person that, you know what I mean? So that's what changed my thought process. And that's why when I got out, when I graduated 2010, I graduated June 4th, 2010. Bro, 4 days later, I was gone. I took off and joined the military.
Okay.
4 days later, I dipped. That's how, because I knew where you know, what shit was going in.
Yeah.
And stuff that was happening in the area that I was living at was going down south. My brother had just got He's locked up. He's in prison doing life and shit. Like, so I was like, I just saw where things were headed. You feel me? And I was like, nah, I don't want this.
No, yeah.
Plus, living where
I
I was living, I was like, there's more to life than just what's right here. Because I come from like a very small area, like small, bro.
Yeah.
Like talking about like population of like 350.
Where
maybe.
are you from?
So I was born in Salinas, California.
Oh, bro, I have a heck of family from there.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's funny.
Hey.
All my dad, most of my dad's family is from Salinas, because most my aunts and uncles, that's what they grew up doing, was in field work.
That's what I ended up doing in high school too.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was born in Salinas. I say Greenfield, San Lucas, because I spent like 6 and 6 there, and then I dipped. So I was living in Greenfield, California, and then living in San Lucas, and then from there I dipped out, living in Georgia, and then Georgia over here. So it was like, and I've been here the last decade. So I guess if you were to ask me like where from originally, I would say like San Lucas area, but where I'm from now, I would say Sac, because
right.
I've been here the last 10 years, bro.
Your kids were born here?
Yeah. My son was born here. I bought a house here.
Right.
I became adult right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to go back to you, and I'm glad that you brought up your mom, because that was the second part to my question. I wanted to ask you, bro, episode 7 that you, episode 7.
Yeah.
With your mom. How was that? Because I want to do the same thing, but I'm a little bit nervous.
No, yeah.
Was that hard to do, or was it an easy thing to do?
It was, that was a great question. My mom was really nervous for it. But I think it goes with the type of relationship that me and my mom have. Okay. Because the thing is, my mom has always been there for me since the get-go. So, so it was more of a sense like, man, I know how great my mom is, so I need to, like, have her on here so other people can just see, But yeah, no, my mom, she's played a big role in my life too. Like, she's, at a certain point, thank you. Yeah. At a certain point, she really played, that mom and dad role. And, obviously still now. And I have younger brothers, so it's like, she's just like as a person, bro, like, and it's funny because her specifically, a lot of people who meet her are like, man, she's one of the best people I've ever met. Yeah. So honestly, specifically to her, it was probably a little easier in that aspect. But nah, bro, I think if you're sincere, I mean, that's your mom, I think if you're sincere, she really like.
I'll be nervous. I can't even curse around her. And I was like, oh shit! Like, she doesn't like when I curse.
Okay, no, that's what I'm saying.
So if I'm around her and I go, fuck, I go,
yeah, okay, now
change it, like,
And the other thing is, okay, now that you're telling me more about that, bro. For example, how. I know you're never supposed to ask a woman's age, right? But is she like a little bit up in age?
Mom, she's 52. Okay. Sorry, mom.
I'm sorry for asking your age, mom. But what I'm trying to get to is, like, for example, my mom, she's only 19 years older than me, so I'm 22. Yeah. She had me when she was 19. So my grandma, though, it's almost like she's like my second mom, and that's what I'm saying. I can never like cuss in front of her. She would never do stuff like this. So it's maybe just like that generation or something.
It made me, when I was watching that episode, it made me, which I'm subscribed to, by the way, from the YouTube page. So it made me. I was watching it and seeing the dynamic of, like, a mother and a son, and just generationally the difference in between it, and what also can relate so much too, because my mom also had, because I come from a siblings of like 5 other siblings. So my mom, she got pregnant when she was 16, and I have 2 older sisters, 2 little brothers. I'm the middle child, J. Cole. And
yeah, I like that.
So she was just a boss, bro. Like, at one point when we were living in Greenfield, we're living on her. It was me, my two sisters, so it was 3 of us, and my mom by herself. And it was like she was just bossing up and still working while we're still going to school and everything too. So it was like when you were talking about, being gone a lot of times, and then her. There's one question that stuck with me that I've always talked to my mom that I actually wanted to ask about if and when I ever have her on, and I'll tell you why I'm nervous after. But there was one question that you had asked her. Excuse me if I'm butchering it, but it was essentially saying like, hey, you had your dreams, right? And when you had me, did they go away, or how did it change? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it was in her answer was very interesting. I remember her saying something like, well, I found love. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, that's like the changeover, the passion over responsibility. Is it, she's, and then you said like, well, after a year she went back to work, or 2 years?
She went back to school and work, actually.
And work, yeah. Because she said she was working, still working full time.
Right, she was working at Home Depot, and then she decided to go to nursing school. Yeah, and at that point she had me and my brothers. So and then, for example, you I'm sure you kind of relate to that. Something that I couldn't do personally, but you can because you have a son. Yeah, so you probably the same way.
Man, it's tough. It's tough balance wise. It's tough, man. And it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm nervous with the, asking my mom and everything too, because she's a very she's very emotional, and I'll get emotional watching her get emotional.
Yeah.
So like I would get nervous if I
like
talk
episode
about
just crying.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have Kleenex right here, ready to go. As soon as I introduce her and she goes hello, I'm gonna go. Fuck. Oh,
Yeah, like damn man, let's pause. Hold on, a quick second.
Yeah, and like with her, like I would want to. So she doesn't like when I drink. My mom doesn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't do like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So if I drink around her, she's just like, "Why are you drinking?" Yeah, that type of thing, but I feel like I would need the drink for her nerves,
Yeah.
And but also that too. I mean, she's still a mom's mom, bro.
Right.
Like if I tell her. Like, oh, I'm like, cause I like getting tattoos. I'm all tatted and shit, not hella crazy. But if I tell her, I want to go get tattooed today, she goes, no, you can't. Like she's still on that. No,
right.
you can't. And I go, I'm not asking you for permission to go get tattooed right now,
Right, just saying,
but she's still on the fucking. She's like, no, you can't. And I'll be like, or I'm gonna go over here. She goes, nah. Straight up, just no.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, get at it. You're like 3.5 hours away from here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing too. My mom, she's still back home.
Damn.
She's still living over there.
Yeah.
And I have my little family right here now too.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous about that, but I definitely wanted to get some insight.
No, yeah, for
on
sure.
not why you did it, but it's also. It's cool.
Yeah.
It was cool for you to do that. So
yeah, for sure. And I think one thing that I really like to do, honestly, as a person is whoever I meet, Stedman said one thing one time. He was like, you always treat somebody like they're the best person you've ever met.
Yeah.
So whenever if I genuinely love you, that I will go the extra mile for you. And when I say that, I mean, I really put myself in people's positions of like, how are you feeling right now? Right. It's all about how you're feeling. So I always want to make someone feel really special. And I think that was just my whole approach was like, you know what? And it's funny because when I don't know if you've seen the first clip with like a 50-second where I'm talking about, what happened when my dad divorced. But it's funny because when she saw the video, she was like, man, it looks like you making a video because I died or something. It's just like, I'm so funny.
Well, there was like a 2-part thing, right?
It's like right in the middle, like in the beginning of the video. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those videos, I guess, because you know how you go to funerals and then they'll make the slideshows. Yeah, she thought it was one of those. She's just really funny like that. But
yeah, no, I know what you mean because I was making something like that before too, and it was like black and white.
Yeah,
and then it was for one of these episodes I was doing, and the dude I was doing it for, he goes, "Damn fool, I didn't die." And I was like, you know what? Because I added the black and white. I was like, yeah,
right.
You're kind of right. I go, I can
you put the day under.
Yeah.
You're like, bro.
I definitely see that too. So it's like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But shouts out to moms.
No, yeah, and really about your mom, bro. It sounds like she's just like very disciplined, bro.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing though, because I'd rather be over disciplined than not have any discipline. Because I've definitely seen the effects of both, of like having seeing kids that I went to school with having both type of parents.
Yeah.
Having the undisciplined and then disciplined, and then you really look at it now, you're like, oh shit, maybe at the time it looked like that was the best situation, but look at it now,
So I know that in this hat, I guess 2 things. Because it's Memorial Day, I'm gonna go to the river after this.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get river vibe ready.
Yes,
but also
sir.
I didn't have time to get a haircut.
So
that's how we hide it. We're like, just get the hat. You feel me?
Perfect.
I got an appointment booked. You feel me? But I'm wearing this one.
Nah, but that's nice. I like big hats.
Appreciate it.
Where are you going? You going Water River after?
American River, yeah. Right here. You heard of American River? Everybody knows American River.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it. I've never gone, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, just a couple homies out there. We're gonna go. My son, he's never been to the actual river.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be a first time. We took him to the beach in Santa Cruz, but he's never been to the river.
Right.
So
it's
we'll
a different vibe for sure.
I'm gonna throw him in there, so hopefully he can swim.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Okay, so this is. Let me get your perspective on this, bro. There's times on the podcast where. And I don't really talk about it. I love doing other people's podcasts.
Right.
Because I open up more and I'm able to now I just sit back. I'm chilling. And so it's easy for me to talk about more of the stuff or stories or give background behind the scenes type of stuff, info, And so on here I don't really talk about it enough. And sometimes, because I do, if I don't have a guest on for a week, I do solo episodes.
That's dope.
And bro, let me tell you, because without giving too much away, you're here, right?
Yeah.
Imagine sitting here doing a solo, empty as fuck, nothing here. And sometimes, I've recorded at 3 a.m.
Jeez.
I recorded because timing-wise, I was like, I didn't have much time to do here.
Right.
My son has been up. I just put him to sleep, and I got to get up in 2 hours for work. So I might as well just stay up, So I've recorded at 3 a.m. I've recorded at fucking 11 p.m., solo ones.
Yeah.
And there's times where, whether it be solo ones or guest ones, I'll record and I'm like, man, that's a great episode. Man, this is a fucking great episode. I can't wait till this shit comes out. Everybody's gonna see it, and it doesn't do good. And then a couple weeks go by, I do a solo one, and I'm like, I opened up a little more and gave some stories, did shit. And then I got a guest on. I'm like, oh, it's like, and the conversation, like, although they might not be a big time, you know, verified artist or something like that, but the convos and it was a fucking great conversation.
Seriously,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just doesn't maybe do as good. There's times where I'm like, man, like I get like, you know how have you listened to Kendrick Lamar's recent album? Listen more on the Big Stepper.
I've been slipping. I have not. I've been slipping. I know. I've been slipping,
bro.
I'm gonna probably do that. I have an hour back home.
There you go.
I'm there.
It's a two-part thing.
Okay,
man. You know what? I've asked a lot of people, and a lot of people haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all sleeping on it.
I know.
But there's a track on there. I want to say it's the first track, but entitled "Grief" or something like that.
Okay.
Basically, he was saying like he had writer's block for 2 years, where he couldn't like do anything.
Right.
So there's times on the podcast where I'm not there's not necessarily writer's block, but I get like I feel stagnant, and there's like a block sometimes, and I'm like, like I'll look at next week, and I'm like, do I even want to do this one next week? You know what I mean? Because it's like I plateau.
Right.
So I'm curious, as a podcast host yourself, do you ever get these plateaus or feelings of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you?
I man, it's crazy.
Or is it just me?
No. It's definitely not you. But the way I see it, honestly, is my mind, bro, is triggered to where like if something happens, I'm automatically thinking solution. So if I feel something, like honestly, bro, I've been thinking times like this grind has literally, or just being on any grind has literally saved my life to the point where it's like any pain that I have with my personal life, I look into this and I just pour it onto it. And I don't mean like I'm gonna go on the mic be like, you know, fuck everybody. No. What I mean is I translate it to, you know what, I'm gonna go get my next 3 podcasts booked. I'm so pissed off. I'm gonna get my next 3 podcasts built, you know, booked up. So once I was able to look at it like that, I was able to be like, yo, you know what? If the only reason why I'm feeling down right now is because I know I don't have new energy.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
You know, and then I look and then I go work backwards. Like, how do I get this new energy? And then boom, I got to get that new guest. So then now I know my real problem is not how I'm feeling right now. My problem was 2 days ago when I didn't want to message that one person and see if he wanted to slide.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I do need to work on that too. And that's okay too. Like I get.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I get it's just because it's like when you're doing it like dolo like this, and then having, I guess, because like I said, I committed to doing it every week. You know what I'm saying? Which is, you're setting myself a standard that I have to go by, which is okay. I'm definitely down for the grind. I'm never one to shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? I will look into that too. There's been times where I'm like, okay, well, how can I level up this? Or maybe I look back on an episode and I'm like, fuck, maybe I should have answered it this way. Or I look back and be like, I forgot to ask this. And
no, you know, I have those all the time.
Yeah.
All
and
the time.
not to keep going back to LaRussell, but bro, the 10,000 shot theory, the book, that really did help me out. Like when he was talking about 50 a game, 50 a night, you know, like putting up 50, I was taking that with the podcast thing too. It was like, I want to make sure that each episode, I hit all the questions that I want to get, because I do, before I have a guest on, I definitely prepare.
Yeah, you have to, bro.
Yeah, I definitely prepare.
I learned the hard way. And it was with him that I learned.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I had just found out, I don't know if you've seen a video of him when he's like, you're probably wondering why I'm standing behind this fence right now.
We talked about that on the episode.
Okay, so that was literally the very first video that I came across him. It was just like anything else, just like how people come across us, bro, reels. You know what I'm saying? I seen that, I was like, okay, what is he announcing? You know, like, and then I went on his page, and after that's literally that same idea. I DM'd him, and I had said, I'm the type of guy to where like I want things done now, you know, and that might not always be the good thing, especially in the industry that we're in. Like you said, you gotta prepare, you know. So then I was like, let's do it the next day, or I think it was 2 days after, and I was hella busy within those 2 days, but I just wanted to do it, you know. Just
you tell me the time, I'll make it happen.
Exactly, type, you know. But then I did it, and it was the same vibe where it was like it was cool. But then I realized after, just like any other person, you know, when they play football, basketball, you look at that film. You're a podcaster, you're an artist. You look at your
Monday Night Quarterback.
You know, exactly. You look at that film and you're like, man, you know what? Yeah, I did these good things, and I think the right people like you, bro, will look at the ones that they didn't. You know, because I think it's easy to like build off those celebrations, but once you really dive into like exactly like being super anal about what you, like you said, man, I probably asked 100 great questions, but that one question I didn't ask because then you're constantly. It's like this man right here, Kobe, bro. You think he was like, what is there to celebrate? We haven't won yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like having like that like chip on your
Mentality for
shoulder.
it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you got it, bro. That's what I'm saying. You got it for sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like it is important. I'm trying to do a good balance between coming prepared as far as keeping like, you know, somewhat of a timeline.
Yeah.
But also I don't like to over plan or make it seem like too off the book because then it feels kind of like overproduced when there's no producers here but me.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like I'll have some people like if like I had on they'll be on the podcast and they'll be like, can you send me like the dressing or the line over like the questions and everything? And I'm like, oh, I could send you a few reference questions, you know, because they want to come prepared too. So if they ask, for sure, I'll give you the list that like questions that I have, but they're not like set in concrete. You feel me? They're more like guidelines of like where to go from it. You know, everybody's different. Some people will say it. Some people they go, what are we the day of? They're like, what are we talking about? And I'll be like, if it's the day of, like I'm talking about, they're on the way. I was like, yo, let's talk about this, and that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Depending on how cool we are. Like if you're like, you know, repeated guests we have on, I'm like, bro, let's just as soon as you get here, let's just go. You know what I mean? Like we'll hit topics, but also if I have like for you, for example, your first time here, which again, thank you very much.
Of course.
First time here and everything. I want the people to know you. I want them to get as much from you. Like, sure, we could talk about the fucking Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. You feel me? We could hit about like what's going on in the world. We could talk about the tank fight. Which I don't think Ryan Garcia wants to smoke.
He really doesn't.
I'm just saying I don't think he wants to smoke. Just being honest, right?
He doesn't.
Just being honest.
You seen it when he backed out the first time.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think. And David Haney,
isn't he from around here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he might be.
I don't know, but
he's
be careful, bro. I'm just saying, like Tank he's just different.
Yeah, no, he definitely
35. What do you want to do? 40? I don't know. He's just different. But we could talk about all that too. You know what I mean? We could talk about that. But I don't want it to shy away and take away from you.
Right.
From what you got going on.
Yeah,
you know
appreciate
what I'm saying?
that. Yeah,
man, because you remind me a lot of one of my other homies. His name is Yuli Youngin, who's like he has his own little production company. Not even little, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. He has his production company. He's producing, he's doing videography, video editing, but he's doing like project management. He's doing all these things that at his age, when I was 21, I was like, bro, I wish I would have done that at that age, but also started that young too. And same thing for you, bro. You're starting off, I mean, just at your age right now, and the growth, the amount of time that you have, it's like you're gonna be doing fucking, you're already doing good things, bro. Yeah. So it's like it's just like I said, more flowers for you, more kudos to you because it's there is no ceiling.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Appreciate that. No, I seriously do. And I honestly, it's the same way.
Thanks.
No. Because the thing is, you're only able to witness it because you know about it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all about awareness. So it's like once you are aware of a certain feeling, a certain level, it's kind of like when you step into a car that you want to buy. Yeah. They'll literally put on your favorite song, turn on the heater, turn on everything so you can feel your way into it. Yeah. And now you're like, man,
I gotta have it.
Yeah.
How can I not?
You get what I'm saying? So it's like I feel
that's how you know he went into sales. You feel me? He's trying to say, you know
what I'm saying? Yeah. But no, that's what they do, man. And really, that's the same approach that I take. It's like, man. You said in the beginning where it's like when you're in the industry, you know, it's not like you said, it's not like a man, I'm better. It's like these NFL guys on the field, bro. They got to feed their family. Soon as they step off the field, soon as the game's over, or you see in MMA too, they'll dab each other up, man. Good fight, you know, and it's like you understand that it's just like it's the craft, you know,
right? Yeah.
It's just the craft.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know.
Yeah, that's what they say in quotes, but it's actually facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Hey, who the fuck said that?
I don't even know who said that.
Snoop.
I just heard it on the playground one day.
I heard Snoop say one time on maybe on a movie that maybe
it sounds like something Snoop would say. He's a goat.
All over the place, man. But so let's talk about coming from the Bay.
Yeah.
There's, I mean, Warriors are in the final. They're gonna be in the finals. Game 1 Thursday, June 2nd. Obviously, as you know, I'm a diehard Lakers fan, but I rock with the Warriors too. You know what I'm saying? I rock with the Warriors. I support the Kings too, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I'm here, I guess. But you know, that's like a rival, Western Team rival.
I forgot about the Kings.
Yeah, it's Lake Show all day. Don't get it twisted. But I fuck with the Warriors too. Like I haven't been at the Chase Arena, but I've been to like the Work Arena. I've been to playoff games there and everything. Okay. So. And I know you're a Niner fan.
Yeah, huge Niners fan.
I'm a Raiders fan.
Okay.
But it's all love though. I'm not a bad Raiders fan. Like I don't shit on teams.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to fight you in the restroom.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
no,
all,
there's definitely some of those Raider fans. For
yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I'm a good one. My very first football game was a Niner game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Against the Raiders?
No, it was Niners versus the Dolphins or some shit like that. I forgot the team. But it was that first time I ever went, and it was free. They're like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" They're like,
"Yeah, we were that bad."
But it's the Niners. It was because they had an extra ticket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was a Niners. I was like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck. I'll go just to go."
Right.
Because I had never been to one, you know. And so I'm a big sports fan. But so Bay Area sports, right? Some of the best fans in the world, right? And like I said, you a diehard 49er fan,
right?
You know what I mean? You had Stunner Man on, damn near the 49ers anthem, basically.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What do you feel about like the state of the sports in the Bay right now?
Yeah, no. Honestly, as far as like it's crazy because I just had a conversation about Bay Area sports with my boy Reese on another podcast, and you know I didn't really like how the teams left. I understand it, but I don't like it. Why? Because a lot of like exactly what you just said, a lot of those Raider passionate fans are strictly from Oakland.
Yeah,
rooted. So you're exactly rooted for. So you're stripping them away from that.
Oh, speaking of roots, sorry. Speaking of, bro, your most recent episode, I thought you were gonna have when you're doing the little snippets, like the little previews type of thing. Guess where I'm at? You know?
Yeah.
I was like, no fucking way, he's gonna interview like a Raider fan.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh,
I wish, man. It's just because the way. So they literally just took over the facility. So like they still have Oakland everywhere, and then Oakland roots. So. You know, so that was like the location where it was at. It's still like, I guess the address is still Oakland Raiders headquarters. Yeah. But it's cool because I guess because they left more opportunity. Yeah. So then they were able to take out that facility. And I think they also have like another building, but they were saying that they're going to lease it or whatever. But yeah, no, it's that facility is beautiful. It literally is just like an NFL facility. So it's dope.
So you'll be doing mobiles too. We'll get back to the sports, I swear. So you'll be doing mobiles too then.
That was my first one. That was my first one, but I really enjoy it because, for one, it's like a different scenery, so you're not always seeing the same thing. I mean, unless it's like this, man. This is sick, for real.
Oh, man.
No, because I don't know if you noticed, like, for example, on our podcast, man, it's just like the angles have been everywhere just because I can't figure out, like, one thing to do.
Bro, that's how my solo ones are like that, too.
Okay.
They're right here.
Yeah.
It's tough because one day I like this one day I don't.
Exactly.
It's like, it depends on what it is. And then I'm adding shit, and then I'm trying. Because, like I said, I didn't know shit about tech and video stuff. So, like, angles and lighting, you feel me? So it's like, this might hit better. And then I bought this fucking lantern thingy after, so it's like I'm trying to use this more. But the mobiles, because I've done a few mobiles myself. Are you liking them?
Like I said, that was my first one. I really did. I didn't like how the actual quality turned out because obviously, like when you try something new, you're never really prepared.
Sound treatment is not there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But as far as like actually going somewhere, I think it's definitely a different vibe because no matter where you go, like it's a different scenery, so you're gonna be like get different inspiration through the convo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I just came back. Not came back, but 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks now. My last mobile, I was in Oklahoma.
Okay,
so I flew all the way to Oklahoma.
That's crazy. Yeah, you're nuts for that, but that's dope. No, I'm saying like that's actually really good, like really cool. Like, how was that?
Oh man, it was an experience, man. I don't know if you check it out. I'll tell you this. If you, not to throw my shit on you like that.
No, go ahead.
I'll give you two options when you drive home. You can listen to the Kendrick album.
Right.
No problem. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to it. But if you have the time, definitely check out, not to everybody too, check out episode 80 that I did. The episode is called Baby JJ's Journey, where I flew over to Oklahoma. I sat down with these parents. It's a mother and a father, Jose and Cassandra Rodriguez. And ironically, they're originally from the same area that I'm from, where my moms and my family still stay at. You know?
Wow.
So the reason why I flew out there and everything is because they have a little boy. His name is Baby JJ. He is 2 years old now. He's when he was a year and a half, he got attacked by his neighbor's 5 pit bulls.
Jeez.
His neighbors had 5 pit bulls. 5 pit bulls, bro. Unchained. No leash, no fence, the minimal like barriers and stuff like that on all these things, these parameters that you can control if they did the right thing.
Right.
They got out, right, and they went to the baby. 5 of them. 5 of them attacked the little boy, and I mean the injuries that he has, man. He when I say, I'm not even over exaggerating. Like literally, the little boy's face was ripped off. His jaws and his mandible was broken in 2 different places. His eye wall. And his eye socket wall and floor were broken in 4 places. Damn. His head was scalped, bro. And the dad went out there. They rushed, and then They attacked his groin and his arm, and then
shout out to dad, man.
Man, it was so at that time. So at this time, him, baby JJ, and my son, they're only a month apart. Yeah. So when I first, this was the attack happened on February 20th. Mm-hmm. So when it happened, I mean, when I first had heard about it, I remember I was like, oh my god, like I remember being like, bro, as a dad, everything hits a little different. You know what I mean? Especially having a little boy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember I was like, I can't imagine what the fuck they're going through.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he's a sibling. So the dad, and you'd have mad respect for him, bro. Mm-hmm. The baby JJ is one of 7 kids. They have 7 kids. Damn. The dad's working 2 jobs and he's in Oklahoma, and he's like trying to provide, for his kids and for his family. And then this type of thing happens, and then you find out that the neighbor, what sucks more was that 8 days prior to the attack of his little boy, the same dogs attacked their dog. They had their family dog, and like damn near killed that dog 8 days ago. And the mom told him like, you got to put up a fence, or else the next, or else it could be one of my kids. Right. 8 days prior. So that happened, and then I went out there because I was like, man, I don't want to, like, I was like, not best of luck, but I was like, dude, I'm fucking like wish him all the best. Right. I was like, I don't even want to go dive deep into it because I don't want to put those images in my head because I would think of my son. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then you find out that the local news was like falsely reporting stuff. Bro, their parents were facing child neglect charges from the district attorney. What? The neighbors, that the owner of the pit bulls, was saying like, no, it wasn't 5. It was only 1 dog that attacked. And so after it happened, he tried to hide the pit bulls. Right. And they were like, and then the neighbor tried painting a story like, oh, the little boy, he walked all the way to my backyard, knocked on the door, and that's what got curiosity from the dogs. And then they were and then while this is going on, the sheriffs were saying like this could have been prevented, and then they're getting so much hate, bro, online. There people were going on their page telling them you guys are shitty parents. What? They were saying this is all your fault. All these other things, bro. So I remember I was scrolling on Instagram one time on the stories, and I saw the next day they had put up pictures, but they said they did it intentionally so they can see the damage that was done. Right. And I remember I was like, don't show me those photos. I was like, no, I don't want to see that. I'll start crying right now. Yeah. So I avoided seeing it for like a whole month. And just random, when you go through Instagram stories and you're like clicking and then the next one pops up, and sometimes you just see a repost, a picture. There's no captions or anything like that. It's just a picture, Yeah. I saw one. I saw a picture of a baby. I didn't even know, without knowing who the baby was, I already knew the baby right off tops, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I clicked on it. I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I know I'm rambling. But I basically, after seeing all that, I reached out to them and I go, hey, you guys, like, first of all, I'm fucking so sorry for all this is going on. I was like, I just saw this stuff online. I see all this hate that you guys are doing. I would really love to be able for you guys to have a conversation, but tell the truth and give your side of the story. No gimmicks, no fucking, I just strictly just to help you guys and raise awareness and hope that somehow this like touches someone and they're able to donate as much as they fucking can, Right. So I was like, and I made it a point. I was like, I want to fly out there. I was like, I don't want to do it Zoom. I don't want to talk on the phone because they had to that day, and even up to then they were doing a few IG lives telling the story, but no one gave them a platform. Right. Well, I'm not gonna say no one. They had the Dana Cortez show, but it was only like 10, 15 minutes, and it was like over the phone. Right. So I was like, bro, so I packed up all this shit. I flew over there. Yeah. I went to the children's hospital. We sat down. We did it there. I was able to see the little boy. I was able to play with the little boy, talk with the parents, stayed there overnight, and flew back the next day. Damn. Yeah, for a mobile.
No, yeah, I respect that. And really, like you said, at that point, that's what I kind of was getting to in the beginning, where it's like, bro, at that point, you're not doing that for you. No, not at all. You're doing that way bigger than you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because it's not even, respectfully, at that point, you're not even, this is how I would look at stuff. It's not even, yes, it's that family, but think about like what other family has been in that position. Oh, yeah. Or think about the things you avoided by just bringing it to light. Right. So yeah, no, I respect that. Seriously.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was a thing, like, it was also bringing awareness, not so much of like, not so much, but it's bringing awareness for him and what he went through in the family, but also showing other people like owners and just like whether you're a homeowner or a pet owner, like, hey, we got a minimal shit. Right. You feel me? If you got dogs, minimal offense. And if you are, because we all love dogs too, but like we gotta, be a little bit more cautious with shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that was kind of like the intentions for all that. So on your drive back, like I said, if you can, no pressure, definitely check that one out, or the Nipsey, or the Kendrick one.
It definitely, it's one of those things where it's like, man, you can't bring it up, to light enough, honestly, because like it's all these things you got to avoid, right? Especially when it comes to dogs, man. Like I have a dog myself, and that's my dog, like literally, that's my best friend type shit,
Yeah.
But I understand what that same little cute animal who looks at me with the puppy eyes is a pit bull. Yeah. I understand what he's capable of.
And that's the thing though too. We had pit bulls, like bro, Mexican family,
right?
You know what I mean? Like we grew up with pit bulls, and they're Mexican too. They're like, and then they said too, like, well, we had a family pit bull too. It's not like we hate pit bulls. You feel me? 5 is a bit excessive,
right?
Untrained, fucking no lead, no nothing,
right?
It's a bit excessive. Come
on. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're gonna pop. By no means am I saying that's what's gonna happen. I'm saying like physically, man, these dogs, their jaws are strong as fuck.
Oh yeah.
So and the thing is, it may not even be your dog or whatever. Especially if you have not taken it to somebody to go train it. It hasn't been trained. Like to me, that's like the standards.
It's the instinct for them.
Right. Yeah. Because I've seen, like, for example, there's this guy named Cali Canine. I don't know if you came across him on Instagram, right? I've hopefully, man, it goes through, but I'm trying to get him simply because of that.
Lock it in.
Yeah, man. I've texted him. We're just trying to figure out a day.
Okay.
But it was because of that, because there's a lot of incidents, and I feel like a dog's, yes, we always see like the good side of it, which is like the love and all that, but like at the same time they're an animal. They're an animal, so they're not human beings. And for example, my boy Gary Vee, he's like, man, I hate how human beings love other dogs more than love other people.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I get it, but I'm trying to say is like, man, these dogs, they're a mind of their own, and they have certain things that tick them off that you may not know, may not know about because you're not knowledgeable within that industry. It's just like anything else. There's triggers. So I think just overall what I'm trying to say is like just be aware of like whatever can happen around you. So
it's just being conscious and awareness. You know what I mean? Right. So that was a good one.
And I'm not even saying like on the family side. I'm talking about like take responsibility of like what I'm saying, of like if you're the owner,
bro. You know what stuck with me too after talking with them. I'm talking to them and we're talking about the dogs and shit and everything, and then they go, oh yeah, and after it happened, so out of the 5 dogs, only 1 got put down. And because they hit the 4, right? Only 1 got put down. And then you know what the dad tells me? He goes, bro, how about the owner, after it happened, he went to go get another one. They got another one.
Jesus.
It's like, come on, bro. You got to be, you know what I'm saying? And like, so there's still legal stuff going on. Like, that they can't talk about that. We talk maybe off air and everything.
Right.
But, the mobiles, bro. It's like the experiences for them, and I definitely got a sneak peek into something. It felt good, and I remember being like,
seriously,
this is what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the best things that I like about specifically traveling is you never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah,
never know. Like, I just went to Miami, and then some guys that we were able to link up with, man, shout out to them. They were on their shit. Like, homeboy was like looking at like we went over there for vacation, but he's looking at condos to buy. Yeah. His friend works for Google. He used to work for Facebook too.
Damn.
And he like travels around the country, and it was just awesome. Like, yo, what's up, bro?
You know what? I remember you fucking living your best life over there. You know what I mean? I remember seeing that shit. 'Cause I've been to Miami too, so I already know what the vibe's like.
Yeah, man.
That's why. Actually, this is a Cancun bucket hat.
Okay.
I bought this shit in Cancun.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
What did you do in Miami?
So it was a celebratory thing. It was like we had just closed and bought the house.
Okay.
And I was
you bought a house here, and then you went to celebrate out there.
I bought the house here in Sacramento, and it was a big thing. It was bro. I can't put it enough emphasis how much. It's like a big. It was a bucket list, you know. What I mean, coming from the family, I grew up in a house of like I said, I had my mom, my 2 sisters, and then my little brothers came in because I have 2 little brothers, bro. They're 10 and 11 years apart in age. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a big difference. That's a big difference. You know what I mean? And so when they came to the picture, we moved to San Lucas with my grandparents.
Okay.
It was like 14 of us.
Damn.
Straight up like Mexican shit.
No,
two bedroom, like 14 people living there.
Sheesh.
And I'm talking about we had to hide like when we get the checks and everything.
Yeah.
They'd be like, leave. Like we had to leave the house or be in the backyard. Or when I'm talking about hide, I mean like literally under like covers beds, over here, like that type of thing. Hiding. And so coming from that environment and everything that I told you about high school and everything, I made it when I got out the army. I made it a goal of mine. I was like, I want to, by the time I'm 25, no later than 25, I want to be a homeowner. And I was able to, thankfully, by the grace of everything, I was able to meet that goal. I bought my house, and then I remember just being fucking super happy. I didn't even have the money. Probably dumb. It was impulsive, buy. But I go, you know what? Because I spent so much, doing this shit. I go, bro, we got the fucking house. I was like, it's time to celebrate.
Yeah.
Miami. and I had never been to Miami, so I literally just went from Miami for the weekend. Fucking. Yeah,
did your thing out there, bro. Yeah, there's only one thing to do out there, and that's have fun.
Kicking it, bro. We did like a fucking helicopter tour of South Beach.
Oh yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. Groupon, shout out Groupon.
Yeah,
so they got a Groupon. Fucking, we did a helicopter tour of South Beach.
Damn,
passed by with the Miami Heat.
I wanted to skydive.
Well, I saw Rick Ross and what the fuck, DJ Khaled. I saw their mansions. Oh, I was like, oh well, this is fucking happiness. This is what the happiness
seriously,
is,
bro. Seriously. And I think the cool thing about it is too, like, yeah, obviously, and I think you say that because it's like, not only is it the actual mansion, but you know, these guys like got it from the mud. I think that's the best feeling, bro. Imagine being in a helicopter and be like, damn, I used to live in a 14 bedroom or a 14 or 2 bedroom,
14 people
with 14 people. But then I built this, you know, and I think that's the great thing. Because I was talking to somebody the other day. And I don't know, like, there's two different types of people when they win a championship. There's one person who, man, I won, but it just hasn't hit me yet. But there's a second person, as soon as that final whistle blows, they're crying, they're on their knees, they're like, oh my God. And what's the difference? The difference is the one who didn't really feel it was they didn't go through so many struggles to make them feel like that. The only reason why the other one felt so good was because he went through all the bullshit in between that.
Perspective, right?
Exactly.
It's perspective thing. One reference tool, not even tool, but one thing that I always talk about when I can. And thank you for giving me the so I can bring it up right now. You know what I mean? But so speaking about the perspective thing, it's you have two sons, right? One dad. The dad was an alcoholic, right? Two different perspectives. One son grows up to ends up becoming an alcoholic himself, and his perspective is, this is what I saw, so this is all I know. He became an alcoholic. The other son doesn't drink alcohol at all. His perspective was, I saw my dad be an alcoholic, and I don't want to be that. So you have two sons, that same dad, but two different perspectives. One becomes an alcoholic, one doesn't. So it's all about how, like I said, perspective, how you go about it. And championships is a big fucking thing. Well, look about it think about it with because I'm a boxing head myself. Think about it when Floyd, it's technically a loss, but it didn't count as a pro. But when it was in the Olympics, when he lost.
Yeah.
Bro, you watch that video of him, and he's like, he starts crying.
Yeah, he's like pissed.
He fucked that.
Yeah.
And then went on to be 50-0.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's like, I know Floyd gets a lot of flack and gets a lot of hate, but I'm a big fan.
No, he's the best ever.
Canelo's my personal fave. You know what I mean?
Right.
My fave to ever do it though. So Canelo's my favorite.
Okay.
My personal GOAT, I guess you know what I mean? To me, is Pacquiao.
Pacquiao?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's quick, man.
Hey,
quick. And you can't.
Who's your GOAT?
Okay, honestly, this is it. Definitely got to be
8 division champ now. 8 divisions.
See it right now. So the thing about Canelo is he's the best Mexican fighter ever.
Right.
And as Mexicans, man, that's our pride and joy. Yeah, so I get you on that one too. And he completed all the belts too.
Yeah, middleweight, unified all 4.
Yeah, all 4. But I don't know, man. Mayweather. It's just
Mayweather.
Yeah,
is he your?
That's my goat. Simply because he don't got that knockout punch.
Yeah.
I mean, he can have it.
Yeah.
But it's a style, man. It's just,
50-0, bro.
And it's what I'm trying to say is like his style is not really replicatable.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, it's the same thing with so my personal basketball GOAT is Kobe.
Okay.
But universally, I understand Michael Jordan, or
LeBron.
You can say LeBron. You know what I mean? Same thing with Pacquiao and Floyd. I definitely concede Floyd is definitely the greatest ever do it, the GOAT. You know what I mean? But in my little world, just because maybe I relate to Pacquiao more because coming from a little dude, I'm a little dude myself.
Yeah, and it's all
I'm swole too. Don't get twisted. But I just relate a little bit more to that, and going up 8 different divisions. That's how I was like, that's my personal little GOAT. But Floyd, I mean, there's no, bro. I don't think, especially at the level of competition that it is right now, I don't think anybody's gonna be able to go 50-0 again. I mean, look, Canelo just lost,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
And that fight was all bullshit.
Yeah, he didn't need to be up there.
Yeah, and then plus, I think that was the first fight he went fully vegan or something like that. Or
it was. I remember he was talking about it. I just didn't like how. I don't know. We could break down the box, the shoulder, constantly tagging the shoulder. You know what I mean? And then, but luckily, he's gonna be doing the trilogy with Triple G, which I think he's gonna win too.
Yeah, honestly, that whole series thing is it started off kind of shaky, but I'm excited for it now because I don't know if he should have won when he won.
The first one, I called it. By the time the 12th round ended, I go, oh man, he lost. And everybody around me, they were just like, what? They're like, you did? They're like, I was like, bro, I'm a Canelo fan.
Right. So yeah, you saying that mean, yeah.
He lost that one.
Yeah.
And when they said draw, I go, ooh.
Oh, yeah, the draw. Yeah.
With the draw, I go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
The second one, he did win that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. I think Triple G should have won the first one. So this one is actually going to be good because of that reason.
And I think I know I was going to win this one just because Triple G was already up there in age. And
yeah.
he does, like, I watched, like, his last fight, he did look
a little
bit up there, you know what I mean?
Okay.
A little elderly, no disrespect.
Yeah.
Don't come at me.
No, I mean, it happens everywhere.
You know what I mean? I got a good jab too, but come on now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's what that's like my thing. Like I said, speaking about Kobe, MJ, and LeBron, you know, that's always the debate.
Right.
Realistically, the debate really is MJ and LeBron.
Yeah.
Which I wish I get. Which like I said, my personal goat, Kobe. But you're a little younger.
Honestly,
who you got?
And that's what I'm feeling. This is the funny part is even though I'm from the Bay Area, I'm not like a huge Warriors fan. I'm never gonna cheer against them, but I'm more of like I follow players more in basketball.
Right.
So I think LeBron is the best.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's what I'm trying to say. Where it's like Kobe though, it's all around like person. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that you can honestly say that you can't say about others, or well, I feel like LeBron hasn't had enough time to be able to do more than just basketball because, especially right now, I know he's just focused on playing with his son, which is a whole another thing.
Yeah,
man. Imagine
it'd be
that,
tough.
bro.
Wouldn't it be like 21 years in at that point?
Yeah, but I think it's like at most it's only 2 years apart from like now. So
he's what? Bronny's a sophomore now
in high school.
Yeah,
or no?
He's a sophomore now, right?
I think he might be junior.
You think,
bro? I think it's a lot closer than like two years max, maybe for him to be in the because you only got to play 1 year of college, right? NBA.
And they're trying to change that.
Oh, they are.
They're trying to change it.
They don't.
They're trying to get it like straight from
like NFL
back to when he turns 18, like straight up like Kobe and
back
LeBron.
to high school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like
good.
At a senior.
That's good.
That's what he's saying. Like he's trying to get that. Time frame.
Okay. Yeah.
Which as a dad too, I definitely bro. That what? To
Yeah,
have to play with your son on it and then coach him and then grill him when he misses a layup. Like because LeBron about to go in on
man.
it.
That's another thing to say. Yeah, to see too how that would react. But no, I think that's like a whole nother accomplishment, man. Like being able to play because that just says your career's longevity, not for you to play for your dad. I mean, with your son, like
some Tom Brady type shit.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows if I don't know about Tom Brady. I think it's a little farther apart, but you never know. You never know.
Quarterback, the position. It's all about position.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel, and he's just coming back too. You know what I mean? Damn, we went in on some sports. Bro.
no. But honestly, I love it, man, because that's all I do in my free time. I just
you just watch it.
Sports.
You find motivation from it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, no doubt for that.
Especially when you dive into these players and like really realize why they are where they are.
And artists too. You dive into their shit too, especially if you find the interviews. That's why I like looking for interviews and motivation. Same going back to Floyd, bro. You YouTube Floyd motivation clips. That shit will get you going.
Yeah.
What? Let's go.
Like, there's a reason why these guys are at where they're at.
Yeah. And he that's why like I said, he gets a lot of flack, a lot of hate, a lot of time, but it's like, nah, bro, you can't deny the work, and 50 knows 50
exactly. You cannot. That's one thing I don't like is like when people hate on hard work. It's like, what?
Yeah,
it's like the proof is right there, like in the pudding. Like he used to run from the club to his house or something like that.
3 a.m. whatever it is, just to get that work
like
in.
People looking like a fucking maniac.
Yeah,
but you think he cares? He's 50-0.
Nah, no doubt, and it translates over. I mean, you make the choice ultimately, but it translates over to podcasting too. You, like you said, you're like a little over a year now, right? You're going on a year and a half. Same thing right here too. Think about like how much stuff you've done in that time frame, and think about it like. If you look back a year ago and be like, it seems not that far. You get me? Like you look back, it's like, oh, that wasn't that far ago. It's only a year, but you think about how much work you've done. It makes you want to be like, man, I should have did this a year ago. I should have did this. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years ago, because when I started this, I had been talking about doing a podcast like at least 3 years prior.
Sheesh.
I would talk about, man, I think I want to do a podcast. You know what I mean? But when it comes to like planning, logistics, and how you want to do it, ideally, preferably I'd want to have like a co-host, like a permanent co-host. But you can't instill that goal. You can't make someone else's your goal someone else's goal.
Right.
And maybe you don't have people have the same aspirations to become a podcast host. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you eliminate that. So then I was just doing myself. And then it comes to planning, and then planning is one thing, and then when you physically start doing it, you know what I mean? Then it's just like, oh shit,
shit comes up, man. Like you said, even if you can plan it, shit will still come up.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I that's what it was like during the pandemic at the height of it. Like my son was born, like at the fucking height of pandemic 2020. You know what I'm saying? So it was like that going on, And then I launched this, and it's time's flying, bro. Like I'm going on 2 years now, and I look about the amount of progress that I've made, and it's just like I look at it like I'm almost at episode 100.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing 2 a week. I was doing bonus ones, and like this will be episode 82 when this comes out. You know, so it's like. Yeah, 82, and now I'm almost to 100. I remember starting from episode 1.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Salute, man, salute. Because I think that's the most that it's like. For example, I listen to a lot of audios. Like obviously, you're saying podcasts, so I listen to Gary Vee, and there was the way he kind of does his is more of a Q&A. So it's cool because a lot of people ask questions that you might relate to.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a certain speech he had gave at a certain place. I don't know where it was, but basically he had said, man, one thing you could do is start a podcast and bring people on. And then people in the audience, you know, people are clever. So when they got the mic, they're like, yo, Gary Vee, can you be my 5th, you know, special guest? And he's like, yeah. And then someone else asked him, he's like, yo, can you be my 7th? And he's like, nah, I'll be your 100th though. And I realized,
lock it in, Gary Vee.
You know what I'm saying?
Episode 100. Yep. I'm gonna get you on. I'll message you right now.
And you know me, bro. And you know me, I'm super deep with shit. So I'm like, man, I wonder why he said that. But I think in reality, it's like, bro, in order to get to that 100,
you have to put the work in.
You gotta have something that at 5 you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that person that you'll hop on 5. Like, yeah, you know, you get to 5th episode as Gary Vee, but for you to get to 100, bro. No, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's like for you to get to 82 and about to get to 100, bro. Like I already know the work you have to put in. So like, salute to you, brother, for real.
Thank you, man. Yeah, seriously. I would love to have. I mean that though. I would love to have episode.
Oh yeah, of course.
Episode 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be like you said. Anyone really. Anyone. Maybe someone bigger.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you said that too because it does. And I like that he said that too because it's not just being like, oh, it's not just like, okay, I'll be episode 100. It's also saying like be around enough to be. Right, episode 100. Because there's a lot of podcasters do like that. I read a statistic. I don't know if it's true or not, but it said generally people they give up at around episode 20. That's like they do it. Wow. It's good. It's hot. You know, it's boom, 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 and then right around episode 20 is when they're like, it's not really doing how they think, and they like plateau and they'll stop. You know what I'm saying? So to even get close to episode 100. Whether it's up or down, you're still doing it. You know what I mean? Seriously. So it's like the longevity of it. So I can definitely see that.
And the beautiful thing about this, bro, is I always look at these like intellectual real estate. You know, meaning like, yo, right now it could probably have 2 views. It's like Drake, man. Shout out my boy Drake. That's my boy.
Wait.
The Drake. No, I'm joking.
Is your GOAT?
Honestly, I was thinking about that on the way over here. He's top 3.
Yeah, okay.
Top 3 and not 3.
I'll admit it. Okay, yeah.
But nah, Drake, one of his songs, he says, they play my song later, talking about it was a sleeper. But it was always a banger, you know, the moment I created it. So to tie it back up, it's like, yo, it's a sleeper right now. Episode 82 right now is a sleeper. You know, let's say you post it, only my mom watches it. That's it. Your mom, my mom, 2 people.
Moms, our biggest supporters.
But later, a year later on, bro, you can have Gary Vee or on the 100th episode, and now people are gonna be like, yo, this guy's dope. Let me go look at his other shit, and then boom, all of a sudden this one goes 100K, and then boom.
Yeah, I had It's funny that you brought that up too, because just recently I just had someone message me about to the podcast page. They messaged me about like episode 11 or some shit.
Okay.
Like that. They're like, hey man, just listen to this episode. Really liked what you did, and I was like, damn, episode 11.
Right.
You know, because when you put it's out there, it's the ether. It's out there. It's like it's always gonna be there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So and it's something that people can always go back and reference on, and
right.
And that's why I feel like at the end of the day, it's all about the conversation. You know, it's all about the convo that you have, whether it's genuine or not. And is it like my homie Yuli likes to say? Is it providing value? You know what I'm saying? Because you could come on the podcast and bro, if I make it a headline thing about bullshitting, like episode 81 we did. I wanted to do like a little bullshit thing, so we did 81 shots of beer.
Yeah.
And so episode 81 shots of beer. We did it for Kobe because we dropped 81. So you know what I mean? We're bullshitting, but we dropped in that. There was knowledgeable stuff that we dropped. So obviously it was like, we're fucking around, you know, we're just bullshitting. But there's also, we're also dropping gems. And that's why each episode I try to.
No, seriously.
Because if someone could take your piece of advice, if someone could take my piece of advice and take it and do something with it, then that's a win, right? But furthermore, if someone could watch this episode and now listen to you and follow you and then can find a piece of motivation in that, it's a win.
No, yeah.
Right?
No, I think that's the beautiful part about what we do is like you said, there's because usually when you think business, when you think, finances, is usually somebody wins and someone doesn't.
Yeah.
But to be able to find something that everyone really wins and it's like it's a commodity.
Yeah.
I think that's when you really get to doing something special. And I think that's what we're doing, man. Honestly, that's my pure motivation is like, yo, I could seriously become a salesman and go sell 1 million cars. But it's like, what is that really gonna do for me?
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that's facts. That's true. Y'all heard it here.
Yeah. And I know money's important, and I talk about it because obviously, bro, it's like, for example, what if I probably wouldn't have come down here because what if I didn't have enough money for gas? So now it's like lack of opportunity. But at the same time, it's like, no, like money is just a tool. So like, it's never going to stop you from getting to where you want to be.
Yeah, that shit comes and goes. It's expendable.
Right.
That shit comes and goes.
Right. And obviously, it's all about how you treat it, obviously, but like for me, I'd rather buy a $5,000 camera than I'll buy, $300 pairs of shoes, just because like I understand that at this level where, I'm at, for example, it's all about planting seeds.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Perspective, again, it goes back to that. You're right on that one, bro. Well, let's damn. Okay. I don't want to wrap this up. But I want to close out with just telling people, so what is the vision at this point? And I say I put emphasis on this point for the podcast because looking back on episode 1 for years to right now, and which is what I asked earlier, I was like, is it still the same? And where do you see it from right at this point on going forward?
Right. So in the beginning, it definitely, from the beginning, it changed because in the beginning, I thought, yo, I'm going to start this podcast. I'm going to be the next biggest guy. I'm going to be this. I'm going to have this. And then once I realized, like, yo, first of all, you're not entitled to shit. So, like, no one's supposed to come on your podcast.
Yeah.
2, it's like they're coming on here, and usually the people that I'm, asking to come on, they don't have a lot of time.
Right.
So the number one thing that I don't play around with is people's time. So what happens is I made sure, if they're going to come on here, like have them tell me a lifetime of their journey and just using an hour, and then boom, that's going to help them out. Because like you said, if you're an artist, if you're an athlete, yes, people absolutely love your craft. But what if they're able to take that one step deeper and understand who you are? So now you become more to that person. That's really the point of the podcast now.
Okay. So that vision is still there. That fire is still there.
Right.
And it's not going to go out anytime soon.
No, like it's funny. Someone asked me, yo, what's the whole point of this? And I'm like, man, I'm trying to take over the world. Maybe not.
Let's go.
Maybe not like, maybe not actually.
Yeah.
But it's the mindset of like, yo, there's nothing that we can't do with this.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about the world we live in today.
Yeah.
Is like, bro, like you said, you're able to take someone's, a situation someone went through, and bring light to them, and then, have literally donations get to them. Like, bro, there's no price to that.
Yeah, it's priceless value, and I definitely want to do more mobiles too, y'all. So
definitely,
what I mean?
Yeah,
and man, I'm thankful that you came through, bro.
Of course.
We gotta tap in. Have you bring it on more too often. And hopefully we can kick it too outside of podcast.
Yeah, it's good, bro. It's good.
Let me know, like, bro, I'll hop on yours too whenever you want.
Yeah, no,
if you need it.
No, it's good. No, like I said, I've actually been working with my boy Brando. He has a podcast too.
Cool.
So like, I'm trying to do something for all podcasters. Seriously, like I'm still in the works of it, but I'm trying to do something to where everyone can eat. Because I see it within the music industry. Like artists kind of get put on. So people love to listen to podcasts. I feel like we have a certain industry of people, and most of the people who listen to the podcast is because they want to just have a good time,
right?
And they want to learn, and they want to grow, and they want to laugh. So I think if we're able to bring that all into one, I think it'll be great for everyone. So
okay, it's a win-win. So definitely some projects in the making for the future.
No, yeah, bro. Like I've already been talking to people. You can definitely if let's say we don't do one, like we could definitely co-host one just because that's like our craft. You get what I'm saying? So because I'm all about effectiveness.
Yeah,
if we're gonna do something, like let's do it as best as we can. So that's what I'm saying. We get 2 great minds together.
Yeah.
Co-hosts, I'll let you know, whoever we can do it on. But let's do it.
Yeah, definitely in, man. Well, let the people know where they can find you, man, where they can reach out to you, where they can find your podcast and all that info.
Yeah, so follow the Instagram page, man. Instagram page, we post every single day. And honestly, I have gotten nothing but great feedback, man. It's a hassle posting on there, but it doesn't feel like it when you're actually pouring good value. So find us on the Instagram page, YouTube, Neighborhood Heroes. That's pretty much it. We're not on Spotify yet, but we're going to get there soon.
We work on that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, seriously, I do, bro. I've been slipping.
I got you. All right, y'all. Well, again, thank you again for checking out. This has been another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast with my guest Samuel. We call you Sammy. Is that cool? Do you hate Sammy?
I did growing up,
Yeah.
but then now it's like if you call me Sammy, we're cool. So you can call me Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all call him Samuel though. Don't get twisted. Okay?
Samuel.
All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.